All right, let's put into practice what we just kind of went through on the parametric EQ. So what I'm going to do is just give my master a little extra gain, just so there's enough volume, excessive volume for me to work with here. And what's going to happen is I bring this fader up here. I'm not going to touch anything. I'm simply going to bring this fader up, and if you watch on this screen here, any sensitive frequencies will start to ring through. And as you can see right there, so I just keep my hand on the fader because you don't want that getting away from you. You can see on that fader there's something in that frequency that is a bit of a problem. So I can now go through and say, well, that's in the high zone. So I'll go up into the high zone here. I still got to always keep a hand on the fader. So I'm going to see, now if you see my frequency, I can take that sweep. If you look right on the screen itself, I'm going to bring the fader up and you can see me moving the frequency. So again, it's a two-handed process, but I'm going to put that frequency right on top of, so at this point I haven't done anything. I simply grabbed the frequency and rotated it so it sits over top that offensive frequency, and now I'm going to take my gain and drop it down. And now you can see me taking my fader all the way up here. Now there's another frequency that's a bit of a problem, but what we're going to do is take care of all the problem frequencies. Now that frequency could be dealt with by taking your Q and going for a wider bandwidth. So now I'm taking my fader, so if you're watching what I'm doing, I'm taking my fader all the way up. So those two frequencies have seem to control themselves, but we got some new issues down low. So, and again, I'm opening this mic pretty wide to do this. So it might be excessive in my EQ, so once I get a human being standing there, I might pull it back, but at least I've dialed in the frequencies that are problems. So my next frequency that I'm going to go for is something, let's see what we got here. Okay, so it's looked like about 2K, and around 2K seems to be my next offensive one. And you always got to keep your hand on that fader because it'll make a mess of things. So I'm going to go to my high mid, and you can literally rotate over. I'm going to bring it up so it starts to cause a bit of a problem again. There it is. So I've put it right over top that frequency. I'm going to go for a fairly narrow bandwidth to try to get rid of that. So that's my Q. I've gone for a fairly narrow bandwidth, and now I can bring my fader up. So now it's revealing some frequencies in the low. So it seems like we've dealt with the highs, dealt with the high mids, and now we're getting into some lows. Now, just as an example here, this equalizer button is a way of turning the EQ on or off. If I take this fader and there's no offensive frequencies at this point and just turn the EQ off, turn off what I've done here, instantly you see the effect of the EQ. It's just getting rid of those frequencies that really want to roll. So now I'm going to go into my low mids and see what we got down here that might be getting in the way. Let's see what we got here. So the next one seems to be the most offensive, seems to be in around 100. You can see the number, it looks like 300, sorry, 310, somewhere around there. So again, keeping your finger on the fader, I'm going to roll my frequency over top the thing that's actually, you know what, I'm going to do it from my low because I think there's a mid one there. So that's my low frequency here, and I'm just going to take that and drop it down a little bit, and I'm going to go for a little bit wider Q, and wider again. Now I'm guessing, is there one more bad one? There's a couple bad ones in here. But the bottom line is now I've got, I've given extra gain here. I'm going to bring that back down to 0. If I bring this down to 0, if I go talk on that microphone, I'm going to guess that the microphone's stable and it's probably going to sound okay. So I'm going to go just do a quick check. I'm going to walk up. So everything's at unity. I'm going to just do a quick check. And we're going to say that's probably a win. Fairly stable microphone. And that's basically how you do it.